Hey guys, I'm Seb, this is Tori of No Nonsense Online Coaching, and today we're going to talk to you about how to build confidence in the gym.
In this video, we're going to give you some practical tips on how to build your confidence, in particular in the free weights area. In my first experience going into the free weights section, I felt like everyone's eyes were on me, I hadn't got a clue where everything was, didn't know how to set equipment up, and it made me not want to go back. Even now, as a personal trainer, I still find if I go into a new gym, it's a really daunting place to go into. So if you're wanting to make free weight training a regular part of your training program and want to overcome this intimidating area, then keep watching.
Our first tip is slow exposure. Start small. Pick 1 or 2 exercises from your program to do in the weights area first. Typically, it won't take longer than like 10 minutes. Then do the rest of your program elsewhere, somewhere where you're a little bit more comfortable in the gym. Week on week, try and build on those exercises, so build on that time spent in the weights area. Maybe week 1 you start off with 10 minutes, 2 exercises. Week 2 you start off with 15 minutes, 3 exercises. Slowly but surely, you'll get more and more comfortable in that environment. In the world of training, there's a key principle called progressive overload. This basically just means making sure that you're doing a little bit more week on week to make sure that you're making progress. This same principle can be applied when it comes to getting comfortable in that free weights area.
Our second tip is to own your space. Set yourself up with a little area with your equipment that you're going to use that day.
Look at your program, grab a dumbbell, a kettlebell, bands, whatever you need for that part of the program or that superset, and then set up your own little space where you can do your work. Our third tip is to have a plan. You've heard us mention this loosely throughout this video so far. It's really important that when you go to the gym, you have some sort of structure as to what you're going to do that day.
Having a plan will give you the confidence to walk into that free weight section knowing exactly what you're going to do with what equipment. The anxiety and the nerves come when you're wandering around the free weights area, you feel like everyone's watching you, you haven't got a clue what piece of equipment to grab, and it can all be really nerve-wracking and just make you want to leave. That is why having a plan is so important. Our fourth tip is all about gym etiquette and equipment.
So here's some unwritten gym etiquette rules. First one is to always clean up your weights. Clean up whatever kit that you've used, whether that be bands, dumbbells, kettlebells. It's really poor form when you set up your own workspace, like we mentioned earlier, and then you leave your kit everywhere for other people to pick up. If you're in the squat rack or deadlifting, make sure you de-rack your barbell, put the weight discs back, and put the barbells back in their right place too.
Our second point is to make sure that you wipe down your kit and your area afterwards. It's nothing worse than turning up to a workstation and it be covered in sweat, hair, used tissue. So just be good and put your stuff away.
Another gym etiquette rule is try not to hoard equipment, especially if your gym is lacking in certain facilities like a squat rack and barbell. Try and be mindful of other people who are also working out around you.
On top of gym etiquette, there's a few equipment need to knows that will really help. The first is how to use clips. This first clip is really simple. You literally just slide it on and then you push the tab down. Open it up to release and slide it off. The second type of clip are these ones. I actually find these really hard to use because they take a lot of grip strength, especially if they're very stiff. But you basically squeeze the 2 ends together, slide them on, and then release. And then to take them off, you just do exactly the same thing. So squeeze them together and slide them off.
Another need to know is changing the height of the squat rack. They might look slightly different, but generally they all kind of operate the same. Okay, so first of all, of course, remove your barbell. Just put it on the floor for now. Make sure not to drop it, make sure to place it, that's a big rule. And then from here, if your hook looks like this, you want to push it to the outside, okay, and then you can there slide it out like that. So this is obviously how it looks like, and then whichever height you need, you again start off with the hook on the side like so, slide it into the hole, and then let it drop down. Bob's your ankle. Next up, we're going to focus on the cable machines. So in a lot of corporate gyms, you'll see they'll have like a pulley system like so, where you can again change the height of this. So again, they might all look a bit different in certain gyms, but generally they all operate the same. So from here, what I find is if you just push up to take the pressure off, then you click this yellow handle out, and then from there it slides up and down. Make sure that when you're doing this, of course, you hear it click into the hole. So if I go up like this, and then if I slide up, then obviously, of course, that's nice and secure in there. Next up, we're going to talk about changing the weight on the stack. Really simple. If you look here, the weight is it's pretty heavy for this. So I'm going to place my hand at the top to clamp it down. Then that allows the pin to slide out really nice and easily. And then I can put it back in wherever I want, make sure it's all the way down. The reason I say you want to put your pressure on the top pin is because if you've got something heavy, like these handles here, then unfortunately something like this can happen. Oh! Brace myself right there, I missed it.
And our final tip is no one actually cares. I know you think that everyone's watching you and you think you're doing it wrong and you're making an absolute tit of yourself, but honestly, no one's watching you. It's all in your head.
One of my favourite quotes is, if you knew how little people actually cared about you, you'd be offended. So try and have that at the forefront of your mind next time you feel self-conscious in the gym.
It can be easy to think that everybody in the free weights section is some professional Olympic lifter, and that's really not the case. The reality is we are all in the same boat, we're all training and we're all just trying to get a good workout done.
As with anything in life, unfortunately you will come across dickheads from time to time. If you have a bad gym experience, don't let it derail you. Brush yourself off, remember these points from this video and get yourself back in there.
If you'd like help and structure on how to build strength and confidence both in the gym and at home, then feel free to book in for a free transformation session with ourselves using the link below.
If you found this video helpful, guys, then please hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to our channel. If there's any questions you have or anything that you didn't quite understand, then please comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.